It just felt like they were singing about experiences that I had had.
Not because we create it, but because we're part of it.
That was just one of the many stories that you can hear in the new documentary Mixtape Trilogy, Stories of the Power of Music. And joining us now is the director, writer, and producer of the film, Kathleen Armitage. Thank you so much, Kathleen, for joining us here on the show.
Thank you for having me.
We have to talk about Mixtape Trilogy. This is your first featured documentary film that you were able to write, produce, and direct. Well, that is a huge accomplishment. Congratulations, first of all.
Thank you.
And what is that like for you?
It's been a lot of fun. It was a really all-consuming experience to do all those roles. I'm still kind of coming down from it, but I still enjoy, I was just telling you, I still enjoy watching the film. We had a screening last night. We have another one coming up later this week. But yeah, it's a lot to take on.
I can imagine. I mean, producing, writing, directing, how is that different from other projects that you've done in the past?
Well, I like all of the creative control, you know, that you have, and also it's such a collaborative process. So when you're the director and the writer-producer, you're working with a lot of other people that bring the whole thing together. But what I am really appreciative of in this work is that I got a chance to kind of get my voice out a little bit through the work. So, you know, directing, you put a different kind of hat on. You're managing people and the stories and trying to figure out how you want them to come out and following them. At the writing stage, you're kind of condensing all the material and trying to get it into some kind of a structure. And producing is just, you know, it's just really hands-on. You know, there's always something to manage, some people to manage, equipment to manage, locations to manage. So they all are kind of different hats.
Yeah, I was just gonna, you took the words right out of my mouth. I was gonna say, you're wearing 3 different hats. That's pretty impressive. Now, when it comes to this documentary specifically, what made you choose this subject when it came to musical artists and the fans? Why was this interesting to you?
Well, I'm working with a man in Boulder, Colorado. His name's Alan Cogan. He wanted to make a film about the power of music. We got together, and for him it meant how people connect, how they connect through music. They end up in spaces and enjoying concerts together, people that might not ordinarily be in the same space. So for me, I had to make it personal after that. I wrote a treatment for about 3 months, and making a documentary it's a marathon, so you really have to be personally, you know, invested in the whole thing to kind of take it to the finish line, especially for us, because we also had a pandemic dropped into the middle of
right in the middle of the mix.
Right. So, you know, I chose subjects that I was interested in, and also ones that that challenged me. Their music challenged me.
And what did you learn during this process, not only about the artists, but maybe even about yourself?
Ooh, each story was, like I said, challenging subjects. Everybody taught me something. Garnett, who's in the second story with Vijay Iyer, who actually spent a lot of time in the Bay Area. He went to school here. He was part of Asian Improv Arts. He's done concerts through San Jose Jazz. But Garnett is the fan that's paired with Vijay in that second story. And Garnett, he opened up a whole door for me into Vijay's music, and even just contemporary jazz or just music in general, because Vijay is just brilliant in the film. Mike Ford, who's the hip-hop architect, he's in the third story. The work that he's doing with kids in the hip-hop architecture camps, and just how he looks at how cities are put together, are ideas I never thought about before. And then Dylan, who's in the first story with Indigo Girls, also the way that she lives her life is so different than anybody I've ever met. I mean, I don't know anyone like them. I mean, that's a different lifestyle, going to, you know, hundreds of shows in a year.
Which is crazy. I mean, I can't even imagine doing something like that. Well, you actually have a showing of it. You already mentioned that there was one last night, but there's another showing that people can go to, right? Where can they find this?
It's at Pruneyard Cinemas, which is in Campbell. It's at 4:30 p.m. this Thursday, the 25th.
Oh, okay, that's absolutely incredible. Now, I have one more quick question for you before I let you go. What is one thing you want people to take away from this documentary?
Oh, that's a great question. I think that even through the process of making it, I could really see that we stuck with the idea of how music brings people together, but I think it's even more important now that we have things that bring us together rather than put us into our corners and we don't have things to talk about.
Yeah.
Music's fun, it's easy. Our film has a lot of great music in it. It's a good time. And I think sometimes that's a great way to just kind of maybe set aside some of the differences and things that we have and just try to enjoy each other and find kind of common ground.
That's incredible. Well, thank you so much, Kathleen, for joining us on the show.
Thank you.
To learn more about Mixtape Trilogy or Cinequest, we'll have links on our website at